All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Jess Cooper here again with the Archaeological Society of South Carolina. We are in the home stretch of Archaeology Fall Field Day. We're only out here till 3 o'clock. I wanted to stop by and make sure we get some of our field work that's happening here. I'm here with archaeologist James Stewart,
Hello.
and James is going to tell us all about what we're doing right here. James?
So we are excavating a shovel test here right on the edge of the Congaree Creek floodplain. We started out here last Saturday looking for a Native American site, and so far we haven't had a single negative shovel test. And so a shovel test is a unit that we use to kind of identify the boundaries of archaeological deposit and also kind of get a chance to look at what kind of things are happening beneath the soil. Um, and so Justin here is starting a shovel test. All of the soil is getting screened through quarter-inch mesh, and for the most part what we're seeing are Native American sherds, a few quartz flakes, and out of our last shovel test we actually got a button. So that would be a historic button, maybe something of a uniform variety, but we don't know exactly yet. We are going to wait to clean it up until we have a better environment for doing that in. So.
Cool, awesome. And what can you tell us? We were talking just before we turned on the camera. We were talking about we have some features here behind us. Can you tell us what's going on with the landscape back here?
Yeah. So what?
There are a lot of roots. Yes.
Yeah. So when we started over here, we know that Native American sites are frequently found on flat areas adjacent to a permanent river source, or sorry, permanent water supply. So the edges of stream banks, those are places that we tend to look at first when we're trying to find sites. But we're right next to the Congaree Creek Bridge, and you might be able to make it out in the distance. You can see the metal edges of the bridge there on the other side of the tree line. But we know that there have been several versions of the bridge pretty much at the same spot. And what we wanted to do was look at this shelf that's down there in the low-lying area behind us to see if maybe it was a causeway leading up to the bridge. And we put a shovel test in it because we were looking to see if there was any kind of evidence for road construction in that shelf. That would be evidence of deposition, rolling to compact the soil, or even brush that was used along the bank edges to hold the soil in when it was being built up and the causeway established. But our shovel test that we put in only found red clay subsoil. And based off of that and a couple of things, including the way that this landform has been kind of truncated with this 90-degree turn in it, I think that what we're actually looking at is the remnant of some modern earth moving that is probably tied to the modern bridge or the existent bridge. It's not really modern anymore. I think it was built in the 60s, so it's a archaeological resource in itself. But I think what we're actually looking at is just kind of the remnants of that. There's a drain that forms the bottom of the low-lying area, and then there's a couple of benches that you can't really see from this angle, but when you're down there looking up, you can see that they're very regular and artificial. So
Basically, nature doesn't normally produce perfectly symmetrical things,
Right.
and that's how we know it's not natural.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that the 1960s bridge is archaeological in itself. Can you explain why it's archaeological?
Well, in South Carolina, we define archaeological sites as anything that's 50 years or older. So, when we are doing archaeological inventories, it's hard, for some people to think about, 1973 as being archaeology, but that's where it is now. So the bridge, it was built in the 1960s, but there were also versions of this bridge that went back to the 18 teens, and more than likely, if we look, underneath that bridge or somewhere around here, we'll also find evidence for that construction. So.
Okay, awesome, great. Well, we're gonna let you guys continue digging your fascinating shovel tests over here, and thank you so much, James. Thank you, Justin, and
Hired hell.
Joe. Thank you so much, Joe, for your labor today. Thanks. All right, everyone, we are probably getting ready to shut it down here pretty soon. Thank you all for coming. Thanks to everyone who tuned in, everyone who came out. If you didn't make it out this year, don't worry, we will be back next year.